Bible. It is the main.
Tunakuangalia venye inakaa. Good evening, everyone. I think you can hear me. So I am your host, Katilia Mutuku, and the director of Barebreakers Youth Initiative. And for today, we are having session 3 on career development, specifically interview skills training. We had our first session on interview skills, I think last week, where we tackled 2 topics. So we had our first session was the basics of interviewing, and the trainer was Grace Lintari, and she also took us through the interview skills psychology on session 2. So the first session was on 8th, the second session was in 11th. And for those who attended, I believe it was an interactive session, and you learned a lot on the basics of interviewing and the psychology that you apply in interview skills when you go for an interview. So today, because of time, we'll just have to start early, and the others will just join and find us as we're going. So today we'll be talking. The trainer will be taking us through the topic of making the right impression, the first right impression, or the right impression during the interview, maybe the start, middle, and at the end of the interview. And the trainer for the day is Bina Mwende. Bina Mwende is a life skills trainer, a coach and youth counselor. Sorry for the spellings in the poster. And she has a BA in communication and PR. PR, I think it's public relationship. So before I welcome the speaker, maybe we can have 2 minutes as we wait for the others to join. For anyone maybe to say I and maybe say your expectations on the right impression you should make on interview. So I'll just give 2 minutes, and 6:36 we start on the session. So we can have just 2 people. You can unmute and maybe say something about the first impression interview skills. Maybe Joshua, you can say something. So I see that's no one wants to speak. Maybe they want to hear from the speaker, and then later they will we have the courage to speak. So I think we will be about 10 participants, and I guess the rest will join us during the session, because I know maybe it will be a long session. So for now, I can welcome Bina Mwende, will be a trainer to start off the session, and then as we continue, the others will join. So welcome so much, Bina.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Katile. I've been looking forward to this session so that we go through the session 3 of interview skills, that is making the right impression. So I welcome each one of you for finding time to be with me. We discuss more and learn from each other on the different ways we can look presentable when we are doing our interviews. So maybe I would like to hear the voices of the people I have with me today. And I hope the names that I can see here are their names. So if I call out your name, kindly just say hello, I get to hear your voice, and then we'll proceed. So there's Charles, kindly speak out, I hear from you a little bit.
Hello, trainer. How are you?
I'm well.
Yes, madam. I'm very fine. I'm following.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Charles.
Asante sana. Nashukuru.
Okay, then we have Jani. Nandi Jani.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I am all right, and you?
I'm well.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Jani. Then we have Joshua. Joshua, kindly say something. I hear your voice. It seems Joshua, maybe we can't hear you, Joshua.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be here.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Joshua. And then we have Supaki. Hi.
Hi, I'm Purity.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning.
Okay, thank you very much, Purity. So I just wanted to have that round so that I get to know who are the people that we are together this day. So I'll go direct to the session today, that is session 3, which is making the right impression when you are going for an interview. I believe so much have been said by other trainers when you are talking about interview skills. So just I hope we will just do the same the way you are doing with the others, and we will participate. Usually I enjoy a very participatory session. So when I request you to do an activity, we do it and we proceed. So the first, we will look at 5 aspects, 5 components of when we are discussing making the right impression. And the 5 components that you are going to look at, and kindly, if I am speaking too fast, you can alert me. Okay. The 5 components of making the right impression are: 1, that we're going to look at. Let me share my screen. Allow me to share my screen. Just a minute. Okay. Yes, this one I have already spoken about. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So these are the 5 components that I want us to go through this evening. The first one is appearance, how it's supposed to appear in an interview. The second one is the best way to make your first impression, how you're supposed to present yourself. Then how to boost your confidence levels in your interview. Then how to have a positive attitude while you are in your interview room, and then controlling your nerves. Yes, so because I have elaborated more in the slides, following the slides that I have, so kindly follow up. So the first one being appearance, we all know how you look and how you present yourself speaks a lot in an interview. You need to have a business-like image. When we talk about business-like image, is good example are people who work in offices. Maybe you are in an interview where you will work in an office or in an informal setup. But either way, first impression really matters. Informal setups are like the Juakali setups, salon, kinyozi, like that. The formal setups are those ones of like office-based jobs. So whatever interview you have, you need to give the very first appearance the best shot you can. So here, I want us to have a discussion, a little bit of a discussion, so that we start from an activity and then I see where we will, what else I can add on. The activity I want us to do is, I want at least each one of you to try and tell me, a well-dressed official girl or lady, how are they supposed to look like? And also a well-dressed, when I say well-dressed, I mean an official lady or an official gentleman. How do you think they're supposed to present themselves the first time they go for an interview? So I'll give you 1 minute to ponder about it, and then I'll call out our names so that I hear what you have in mind. Is that okay? Have you understood the activity I want us to do for starters?
I have.
Okay, if you have, raise your hand so that I see we are all together with the activity. Thank you, Jani. A hand is raised. Say, any other person who understood the activity I want us to do? At least I have one. You raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Purity raised her hand. So just maybe I can repeat. So we were talking about appearance, and basically I gave some summary about what appearance, and I believe we all know how you look matters, how people will address you, and even how the interview will go. So I want us to dress a lady who is attending an interview, and also a gentleman who is attending an interview. How would you feel that this person is well dressed? So let me continue with the exercise. I'll call out your names and then I hear what you have. So let's start with Joshua.
So hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So for a lady, I believe just wear a good crowd your best fit, and they should not be so tight. Don't expose any part of your body. Just be a bit not tight, no something. Don't show something that is not necessary. At least for gents, wear a good trouser. Good, have a very nice belt and a very good shirt. You can add up a jacket or something, but yeah, that's what is in my mind.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Charles, it's your turn.
Yes, adding what Joshua said,
Yes.
I propose probably a skirt suit for ladies,
Yes.
and the dress should be down at least below the knees or on the knees or below the knee level.
Okay.
And also for gents, both gender should not wear tight clothing which exposes much flesh. Also probably not shouting colors, just a modest dressing which has no shouting colors. Yes, that's all. And probably the hairstyle should for the gents probably a well-kept hairstyle which should not probably depict that you are from a certain a certain side of the world. And for the ladies, it shouldn't be that big hairstyle. It should be just a modest hairstyle.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you
thank
very,
you.
very much. Yes. So let's hear from Purity.
Um, for the late, okay, for in business attire, it could be business casual. So for men, it could be a suit, or there are those who don't like suits, so they could do a sweater, a nice shirt and tie with some good pants. And then for the ladies, it could range from dresses, skirts, pants, but they should be fitting and not too tight. Also, they should not be, the colors should not be too, what's the word? Screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if they're doing jewelry, the jewelry should not also overpower the outfit. Because you don't want someone interviewing you and they're looking at all this makeup or all this jewelry instead of concentrating on what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you, Purity. Then you have Jani. Jani, give us your views. Maybe most of it has been said, but just speak out to hear. Sorry, I can't hear you. Maybe you can. Your internet connection maybe has a problem. Is there any other person I have missed out that we have in our class? Okay, so let us move swiftly. Most of the things that you said are correct, yes. In terms of first appearance, we need to have, we need us to dress in a way that the clothing are not too tight, not too revealing, that we can see all the contours. Maybe those kind of dressing someone can preserve them so for other occasion, but you need to have a well-done skirt suit. A well-done skirt suit. That is what most of us term as a presentable way of going for an interview for ladies. The dressing, as you've said, it's not supposed to be, the colors are not supposed to be so shouting. So we have color like brown, dark brown, we have gray, that darkish gray, we have black, we have navy blue. Those colors are very good for interviews. And of course, you look for a matching blouse and a matching skirt, a matching blouse, matching skirt, suit, and good shoes. The hairstyle, somebody's talked about the hairstyle, should be just a calm hairstyles. You know, like ladies, we like sometimes when you go to the salon, you make your hair and you really want it to stand out. In this occasion, when I say occasion, I mean when you're doing your interview, this is a very serious thing. And you also want those people to see the serious part of you. So you just have your hair done. If you've done your braids, you hold them well at the back. If it's just a plain hairdo, you just hold it well and not a too busy hairstyle. And the size of the shoe, you should ensure that the shoe is not too high and yet not too low. Then for the gentlemen, at least that one is easy. You know, I usually say, wanaume bado hawajachanganywa na style. So for them, it's very easy. You can just have a nice suit. Kawaida men don't put on very shouting things. So they will just do a navy blue suit, a black one, dark brown that way, and a shoe that matches the outfit. And the belt should also match the outfit. Then your hair, if you've not cut it, you've combed it very nicely. And if you've done like cutting it, you do not a very like clean shave, you just do it short. So thank you very much for participating in that activity. I'm so impressed. That is the much we maybe, if I've not left out something about appearance, that is all we can do. And I'm so grateful we all agree on that. So we will go to the next aspect. I had talked about 5 aspects of making the right impression. So the second one is first impression. When we talk about first impression, of course, this appearance that we were talking about, sorry? Okay, I had some noise. I thought someone wanted to speak. Okay. The appearance that we were talking about is helping us to give or to show a very nice first impression. When we talk about first impression, we will discuss more about the dress code, which we've already done, but we will talk about it more deeply. Time management, which is still under first impression. Then we have confidence, courtesy, and communication skills. So we move to the next slide, which talks more about the dress code. Here, on top of the many things we've talked about our dressing, you also need to consider that the dress code that you have calls, do I say calls or demands some respect. You can dress in a way that even you yourself, when you looked at the mirror, you feel, no, this looks strange. Or if someone looks at you, they feel it's like you've come for a different interview. Yeah, there's dressing clothes that are revealing. Of course, madam, we know that one won't like call for respect. And for men, yes, you can dress a very nice suit, but again, you open it up. You open the shirt mpaka mahali hapo, somewhere in the chest. Of course, that one, it totally disrupts everything in the interview. So we need to dress in a way that it calls for respect. So there's something written here more that also very baggy dressing is not so good. When you put on baggy dressing, you look like you're not serious. And also the perfume. Also the perfume you put on might suggest very funny thing, very sharp. You know, there's those perfumes that are very sharp, like umezisikia mahali. Kaka perfume that suggests something. So there we have very cool perfumes that are, yeah, when you pass somewhere, you feel like, yes, tunajua hizo perfumes ama niko hapo peke yangu. Yes. Somebody say something, lest I find myself talking alone.
Yeah, I know them.
You know them? Yes. At least a lady, say something. Purity na Jani, muneza ni support hapa. Those perfumes that are really sharp. Do you know those perfumes?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So consider the perfume you put on, consider even the material of the dressing that you have, ensure that it is not too light, it is not revealing. And then too much jewelry, of course, you will look like you are not going for that interview. So that's the much I can speak about respect. Then I'll go to the next aspect of dress code. Something else when you're dressing you need to focus on is this, what judgment will this dressing cause? How will people judge me at a glance when they speak? When they see me, how will they judge me? Do I look like a person who is professional, a person who has a goal and a future? Or I look like somebody who was passing by and heard about an interview and just decided to get into the interview? So remember how we dress. People will always judge us on our dressing. So very modest dressing, the one we've explained before, gives people some sense of feeling you are a serious person. You're a person who can keep this job. You are a person who has a goal. And so they are more focused in delivering whatever activities that are supposed to be delivered in that particular job. For example, you are going for an interview on, let me see, I have categorized them into two, formal and informal work environment. And before I had said informal, there are akina wanaitwaje, akina salon, akina kinyozi, jua kali, carpentry, masonry. Those are the informal setups. And then the formal ones are the ones we do, like banking, financing, accounting, teaching. Yes. So whatever, no matter the kind of job you've applied for, remember, an interview is what brings out who you are. So ensure that it gives us the right judgment about who you are. Are we together on that? Charles, wacha kunyamaza hivyo. Are we together, Charles?
Yes, we are together.
Okay, thank you,
Definitely.
Charles. And I have, yes?
Asante sana.
Okay, thank you, Charles. I have seen we have someone else called Jacob. Sorry, Jacob, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Sorry, you were not there when we were introducing ourselves. Now, the next thing, you are the one who will tell us. Okay, so that is much said about judgment and a dress code. Then the next one we will look still under dress code is confidence. Confidence and a dress code. You can agree with me, how you dress will give you the confidence you need, or you lack the confidence in an interview. Let me start with an example for ladies. Yes, you put on a dress, or we talked about a skirt and a blouse and a nice coat. That is what we term as official. But you can put on a skirt and you didn't realize when you sit down, it might just go past the hips. Then you have this scenario where the interviewers, you get into the interview, then they tell you have a seat. And then you discover, oops, where is this skirt going? Immediately your confidence level will just go out of the window. So these are some of the trisecs you need to do in the house, that you'll put on an address that will give you confidence, no matter you'll be told to pick something, no matter you'll be told to sit or to walk, in whatever situation the interviewers will place you, that this dressing won't rip you off your confidence. So when you talk about, I want to give you an example. Now this one I'll give about men. Imagine you've dressed a very nice suit and you didn't check the shirt. When you lift your hands up, it will just pop out and look very funny. Imagine such a situation. So when you're dressing up for an interview, do all these exercises. Don't feel like it's ati huwezi fanya tizi, or I want to go and do my triceps. Once I'm there, maybe I might be required to go pick up something. So do the triceps, lift your hands up, sit down, stand, bend, so that no matter the situation that you are put in by the interviewers, they don't rip off your confidence. So I'll go to the next aspect of dress code, which is professionalism. Yes, of course, we've said about the respect, judgment, and confidence, and also it should bring out the fact that you are a person who is professional, a person who looks serious, a person who desires for that job and is willing to just hit the ground running. So sometimes we might dress, yes, our friends tell us, hey, hapa umekaa smart sana, umetokelezea. Or for men, they will tell you, hey, you'll just go and you'll get that job. I like your dressing. But also remember the aspect of professionalism. I usually tell my participants, yes, we are this group of people. We found the older ones. They're the ones who are heading, managing companies, owners of these companies. And they have that way that they used to dress when they were growing up. And in this new generation, we have our way of doing things. But always never forget that the people who are having the job, they're the people who will give us these jobs. So always remember to dress in a professional way. There is that standard way of dressing that is professional. Lakini with your friends there, they will tell you, no, you, that skirt of yours is kind of too long. We are not saying iende mko chini kwa miguu. We are not saying it goes up. But when you walk around many towns, you'll see nowadays a standard skirt is not slightly, somewhat between somewhere. So it is good when you are going for that interview. Remember who are the people who are going to employ you. What do they term as professional? What will they talk about this dress of mine, this skirt of mine? Men, there is this fashion that has come that you put on a nice suit. I've seen men very beautiful, but akisimama the trouser goes ikifika hapo chini kanakuwa ka pipe, and then the cashew looks very nice because you don't even have socks. You see, according to your friends and according to us, we may tell you, by the way, umetokelezea, you look so good in this, but does it bring out professionalism? Okay. Let me hear from Mr. Is Mr. who? Mr. Joshua. Yes, Mr. Joshua. What do you think about that?
Hello. So
Hello.
well, you pointed out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So you pointed out some very deep issues, especially that when it comes to suits and the ear socks thing. Most of the time,
Yes.
most of us don't go to kasocks huwa tunasahau kabisa. So I think that's a point I'll taken down.
Yes.
And I think I need to go to Gikomba for more socks.
Please do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Charles, kwa hayo maneno ya dress code, what do you say?
Yes, I think, as you say,
Yes.
the dressing code should be modest, and
Yes.
also ladies yenyewe wanatesa interview sana na ambazo
Yes.
from the look of things they are hot, lakini I think, as you say, probably they might lose on the point when it comes to the interview, and especially to the people who she is addressing.
Yes, yes.
And also vijana tunapenda vitu tight kidogo, so I think hata mimi nimelearn I need to have at least trousers which are not so tight and not so loose for the interview.
Yes, yes.
Nashukuru.
Okay, thank you. Jacob, karibu sana. As I hear your voice more, tell us what you think about what we talked about dress code.
Okay, thank you. I think you explained it well.
Yeah.
And I understood that you must always wear smartly, and your dressing code should be good. So I think it's okay. You explained it well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Jacob. Tuende kwa the ladies in the house. Purity, say something.
Well, I'll just echo what the rest have said.
Yeah.
That you need to be presentable in all ways, in mannerism, in dressing. Yeah, it's like you're going to be hired that same day.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Let me hope Jani's internet imekuwa better. Jani, say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I think what I really caught on from what you said is you know, exercising your suit or your skirt suit, you know, to make sure that it's on point before you go for the interview, so that you don't feel awkward after you are asked to sit down or bend over and pick something or raise your hand.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I think your internet is kind of shaky. So let me just pick it from there. So I want to wind up on matters to do with the dress code. It looks funny. I want to just prompt you to do something. An interview. Just dress up completely the interview. Walk in front of the mirror. check out these things. Check out, are you okay how the blouse is behaving, how the top is behaving, how the hair is behaving? You know, sometimes you will go in the mirror, you make your hair so well, and then we get what happens with the wind? We like a hairstyle, you even don't know what to do about it. So just do all those trisecs before you go in front of the mirror. Walk, see how you look as you when you walk. Move forward, move backward, bend, stand. Do all your gigalos, and then after that, if you're good to go, that's okay. Usually friends will mislead you. I don't know why. Kwanza ladies, I'm telling you, they'll tell you, no, that one, no. And for sure, you know you are not comfortable in that outfit. But the whole, all your girlfriends are there telling you, no, that one is the best. And you know you're feeling funny. So just be you, how best you know. This dressing of mine will give me the best shot. Also for the men, and yes, do that. Mirror, tembea hivi, lakini usually men awadanganyanangi. I don't understand why. And why ladies just can't tell you the right thing. Your boys will tell you, hey friend, kwanza hapo nyuma ya kamuguu hapo vile hukuvaa ka socks, kuna vile akajafikiwa na mafuta, ukumbuke kafikiwe na mafuta. So yes, with that I want to wind up on matters dress code. From your feedback, I feel we are good. So still we will still on first impression, we will go to the next aspect, which is which is time management. First impression, remember bado tuko kwa first impression. Ya kwanza tukasema dress code, tumeongelelea mengi kuhusu dress code. Now the second one, we've talked so much about dress code. So we go to time management. Here I won't speak so much. All I want to tell you, even when you were in primary and secondary, kuchelewa was a problem. When you got to school late, you knew the repercussions, the teacher and the beating. Of course, in an interview, that won't happen. But no one wants to employ someone, even day one, they won't keep time. That one, I believe it's clear that way. But on issues on at what time do you, I really want to keep time. But again, don't be there like your interview is at 11, then you are there at 7 before they even open up the offices. They're even wondering, do we give this candidate hot water? Do we make some coffee? Or what do we do with this person? Then 1 hour is there. They are feeling uncomfortable. They can't even crack jokes in the office because you are there too early. You look idle. So just time yourself so well. Hata ukijipata, even if you find yourself, you are around those areas early, just do your laps there and give yourself like 30 minutes before you get in. Within this 30 minutes, you can just survey or ask somebody there where are the washrooms. You go, you clean your shoes very well. You make your hair. You remember what happened to the wind with the other example. You do your hair again, you wipe, you breathe in, breathe out, you sit down and wait for you to be called in. Don't be there like an hour before, 45 hours before. Sometimes, you can't be like watching your watch. I'm waiting for 30 minutes, then I get in. So within 30 minutes, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, it's good time. Don't be like 10 minutes before, that is too late. You won't have time to touch base on your dressing, adjust your skirt, adjust your trouser, wipe off the dust, refresh. Maybe you need to add some, they call it makeups, add something. Yeah. So that's it about time management. There, I won't dwell for so long. Just be there between 15 to 30 minutes. Look where the washrooms are. Do 1, 2, 3 about you remember your appearance, about your dress code, how you feel most confident, and then sit down where you will be told to sit, and then wait for the interview. Then the other aspect I want to talk about under first impression will be confidence. Confidence. Sasa, it is this time where, now, if you see how this presentation is, we are walking towards entering the interview room. So now we are there. you've been called in. How do you handle these things? Ensure that you know, the best advice I can give on confidence. You see, when you've met a friend of yours that you respect, when you meet, of course, when I say you meet your mom, you'll go hug your mama. When I talk about your papa, maybe you'll go hug your papa. But let's talk about somebody you love and respect. How do you approach such a person? Of course, you wouldn't put your head down. No, you will go looking steady, look head up, looking right into their eyes, and you greet them. So that is how you show confidence. But hii kitu inaitwa corona, my friend, what it did, we can't talk about a firm handshake. Oops, no. So in this case, what we are doing, you just go walking straight. Ensure you are not in a situation that you feel like you're shaking, maybe you feel like you'll stumble. No. So have your head straight, greet them. You can say good morning, you can say hello, you can ask them, how have you been? Something polite, and then you ensure that you maintain an eye contact. Sawa sawa, Jacob? Tuambie mambo hapo. Tell us something about the confidence part. How do you think you can boost your confidence as you enter the interview compound and interview room? Mr. Jacob?
Thank you. I think you explained it well. You just
Yes.
maintain your eye contact and also try to be just generally confident. You don't think about being asked a lot of questions. Maybe you remember something that you have not tackled on the area of that interview you are going, and you start now getting that fear, that kind of fear. So you just enter the interview room with a lot of confidence and also believe in yourself that you are going to do it well.
Yes.
Yeah, and also remember to maybe to greet people and talk to them, say hello, how are you, how are you? Yeah,
Yes,
some
yes.
that.
Okay, just to add on something about confidence. I always tell my participants that most interview starts from the gate. Don't think you're going to mishandle this person, the gate man, the lady who is cleaning, the one who is taking tea to the boss. All those people, when you enter into that interview compound, just start being kind to everyone and showing confidence there. So unaingia and at the gate you start asking the police or the guard, they're asking them, oh my goodness, oh, by the way, okay, this is this and this place. Yes, okay. Are there other people who have arrived before me? Okay, what time was the interview starting? You know, you start even doubting the time you were told to come. So even for starters, the gate man feels, this person kakona woga, what is happening? So from the gate man, hello, good morning. Okay, you can always reconfirm whether this is the place you're going. Okay, well, which room? They tell you, thank you, leave it at that, move next. When you find a worker who feels, maybe they know there are interviews happening and they know people come there when they're feeling so scared, so they just want to jog your mind around, you just greet them, good morning, keep moving. Oh, that is the best way to do it. Purity, something about confidence, maybe you can add.
Smiling, you need to smile.
Yes.
Walk straight. Personally, I wear heels because they give me confidence.
Yes.
I don't know about men. Yeah. So just smile. And also, I think also confidence starts from when you reach the place, like how you relate with the person at the reception, how they take you through that whole process before you go into the interview. Yeah.
Okay.
So from points, that's just it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So quickly, I will move to the next thing. Still under first impression, and this one I'll go kind of fast. I can see time is really moving. Courtesy, this one we've talked about. You need to be courteous to everyone, starting from the gate man up to the very interview room. Have very good courtesy, even in terms of your a facial expression. Sometimes we want to sound kind and very good, but vile unakunja sura, my friend, hey, we are there wondering, hata kama you're saying, oh, my name is Charles, and then they ask you, pardon, the folds you are putting on your face. So remember even your facial expression. As you smile cha ukweli. Don't smile zile za they all can see. Oh, this one is not. There's something they are not impressed. In whatever situation that comes around you, collect yourself. Ensure you can see how your facial expression, how you are moving and how you're talking. Then I will end that session of first impression with communication. How you are communicating to everyone there. We agreed that interview most of the time starts from the gate man. They will still meet the boss. They will still meet the secretary. They will still meet when they're taking tea and talk about something. And maybe you just did something very weird. So remember to even your communication to be very nice. Number one, speak clearly at what point. Don't mama or eat into your words. No. That one won't show a very nice picture. Also, you speak loudly enough. Of course, here we are not shouting. Hello, yes. Yeah, even you're picking your phone and oh my goodness, imagine. And there's this conversation from your mom. She was so tensed out. You are going for the interview. She's speaking in your mother tongue. You are there, of course, she's your mother. You don't want to show your mom like you took me to school and now I know English. So you'll just switch to your mother tongue. You are there shouting in that compound. Wow, that is bad. So even if you'll talk to your mama, talk slowly. Mama, I'm here. I've arrived safely. I'm looking forward for the interview in whatever language, but don't be too loud in whatever conversation you'll make in that place. And then avoid careless statements. You've gone there, somebody has cracked a joke. You've been there, you've had other interviewers, they are talking, they are making very funny jokes. And then unaponyoa kale kako kabaya, very bad joke. What I like most, usually I tell people, maybe I love Kenya. I love Kenya so much because Kenyans are just happy. In whatever situation, they will be happy. So you'll hear one of them or a worker there, they've started discussing some very nice politics. Kana kuvutia. Then you go there and you start making very weird, even showing them, me, by the way, mrengo yangu. Maybe this is where I'm more to this side and not this other side. So generally in your first impression, avoid those kind of mistakes. Avoid, even in communication, avoid all those things I've talked about. Have the best dressing that speaks about everything we've spoken about. Keep your time. Have confidence in whatever you do. Courtesy at all times. Remember, most of the time we forget non-verbal communication speaks more than verbal. So ensure how your posture when you're told to sit, how you sit. When you are told, there's a way you can sit and you sit sexy. Yes, you've been told to sit and then you cross you are in your two high heels and then you cross your two legs like this, juju hivo, and then you are doing funny things with your legs. No. Remember, that is your first time and we really need this job. Then in your communication, all those mistakes I've talked about, kindly take note about everything that we've said. Acha nisikie mtu anaitwa nani? Mimi napenda kuita Charles sana. Charles, let me hear something from you. What do you think about first impression? Kijumla. Whole summary.
So first impression matters most for people who are in the interview room, and especially even one-on-one. One-on-one conversation with someone. I think the first impression shows even how long the conversation will go through.
Yeah.
And so, as you have taught us, that the first impression, especially an all-round impression, is so key in the interview. Hata kama niko blank kwa akili nikiingia kwa interview, lakini the first impression might give them a notion that probably I am good for the interview or I am not ready for the interview.
Yes.
Yes, nashukuru sana.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Let me hear from Johnny.
Ni Muralia.
Yes, Johnny, we're waiting to hear from you. Yes.
Okay. So on first impression, I read somewhere, I'm not sure where, but I think it was a psychologist who was saying that people form the first impression of you within the first few seconds or so. So
Yeah.
I think this counts as well, even in interviews. So the first impression you make has to be very excellent, so that the first impression that your would-be employers form of you is positive.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. Joshua, something about first impression.
Hello. So I've took a couple of notes.
Yes.
From the dress code, from time management, all those things, they really matter. Then the key one I took is communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back then a few years ago, it's a year ago actually. So I end up talking so much, and I don't know. I think that was the main problem. Not like talking to other people, but talking to so much of the content I had. Yeah. So now I think I've learned that.
Okay, thank you so much. Purity, tell us something as we wind up on first impression.
Can you please repeat the question? Sorry, I was held up.
Okay, no problem. So we are winding up on first impression. Just tell us something that caught you, or just some comment about the whole thing, about dress code, time management, confidence, courtesy, and communication.
First impression for me, well, I think it begins with how, like when you get to the reception, how you communicate with the receptionist. And then in terms of when you go into the room for the interview, how you relate, how you walk in. Do you walk in with an attitude, or when you're being asked question, how are you responding? What phrases are you using to respond? Do you say a lot of I think? So, and also the kind of topics, like if they told you to ask, if you have any questions for them, the type of topics you talk about there. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Nani sijaita Jacob. We've learned so much. Tell us something about that topic we just ended on, first impression.
I think my colleague explained also.
Yes.
Generally, I can just say that it is always, you have to remember that this is the first time you are meeting these people, you don't know each other. So they are there to learn more about you and to study you, how you talk, how you dress them, address them, and so on. So it is always good to be careful on how you speak, and both verbal communication and non-verbal, they matters a lot. So it is always, I think it is always good to be careful.
Yes.
And to be
Thank
also
you.
confident in yourself.
Yes. Is there someone else I'm missing out? Maybe. I hope I'm engaging all of us. So I want us to do another activity. Yes, this activity will start with you, and then I will just summarize the activity. Now, we are still on making the first impression in an interview. There are still some more aspects we need to talk about. I want us to go through confidence, to go through positive attitude, controlling nerves. Yes. So I want you to at least, we will start with this, the first one here, confidence. How best you as an individual, or what would you do? Now, this is the question I'm posing. I just want us to listen in. So we are going for this interview. Now, you as, let me say, like me, Bina, or you as yourself, how will you boost, one, your confidence level, and how will you boost and how will you show? Then how will you boost and how will you show good attitude? And how will you control your nerves in an interview? Is my question clear? Yes, let me just ask one person. Joshua, did you raise your hand if my question is clear so that I see we are together? So let me just repeat it. We have three more aspects of first impression, making the first impression in an interview. I want us to personalize it. Personalize and like role model in your head in a situation of an interview and think, how will you boost your interview? How will you show and boost your interview and boost your confidence? How will you show and boost and show good attitude? And the last one, how will you control your nerves? So I'll give you like 5 minutes and then I'll call out names and you tell us how you think you'll do it as a personal, making it very individual. Am I clear, my people? Purity, niko clear? Purity, have you understood?
Please repeat, especially the first part. I got the, how do I control my nerve?
Yes. Okay, so we have 3 aspects. I want you to personalize them. The first one is confidence. The second one is good attitude. And the last one is controlling your nerves. How you will ensure you are not like fidgeting, your mouth is not trembling. So the question is, how would you show confidence and boost confidence as you attend an interview? The second one is, how would you show good attitude in an interview? And then the last one, how will you control your nerves or plan to control your nerves in an interview? Yes. Joshua, have you understood my question?
Yes, I have understood.
Thank you.
Should I start or something?
No, I'm giving you, I just want to do around and ensure we are all at the same pace. Charles,
Okay.
have you understood my question?
Yes, I have understood the question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Johnny?
Yes, I have understood.
Okay, thank you. Jacob?
Yes, I understood.
Thank you. So let me give you like some few minutes. You just think about it and then we will discuss. I'll call out your names and then you tell me how you feel or how you would plan to show the best out of the 3 aspects that we are discussing now. Okay. Did I say I'll give you 5 minutes and maybe I gave you only 2 minutes? That would be very sad. But let's continue. I believe that was a simple exercise. So let me start with Jacob.
Can you start with someone else? Then I follow.
Okay, it's okay. Let's start with Joshua. He was ready the other time I was repeating. Yes, Joshua?
So hello, can you hear me?
Well, very well.
So the first one was confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have took us through dressing well.
Yeah.
So first thing I would dress very well.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I will be knowledgeable about the job and
Yes.
do a little bit of skills. What people are what questions are people asked? You see. Then deep down I get I myself should be very skilled to the craft I'm applying to or I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
Then on attitude, good attitude.
Yes.
So first thing I will, well, you need to have a mantra for those who have it. For like, you have something that you say to yourself, like I got this, I can do this. That's the first thing I believe it can be a good attitude to you. Be kind to people, smile, and treat interview as a friendly zone where the person on the other party is your friend or it's a buyer who you are selling something to him or her. Then controlling your nerves. First thing I will do is I accept I can be nervous. That's one. That's what I can do. Then the other part is I do some research, as I said on first point on confidence. Then I use research on my advantage where like I do so much research on what questions will be asked, and if I've come along so many questions, then I know what the person may ask and how should I ask him or answer. Then
Yes.
finally, I would have fun. Actually, it's not a end of the life, so just take it as it is. So give it to fun.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joshua. Let's have Charles.
Sorry for the mishap. For what have you confidence? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Not
For
so.
confidence,
Yes.
yes, for confidence, we'll do a search, especially for the position and the organization that I'm going to have an interview from.
Yeah.
So that will boost my confidence, especially when answering the questions related to my position or to the organization structure, or probably the vision and so on. So it's first doing the search for the position and the organization. Also, as we said before, a good dressing code that will boost my confidence, so I won't be shaky when I will be doing my interview. For the attitude, definitely looking great. The dressing code also comes in handy when it comes to attitude, and also being positive about the interview outcome. So setting my mind that if it turns out that I I didn't meet the expectation, probably or missed the answers, or probably I answered some questions well. So it's being positive about the interview and knowing that I cannot be a know-it-all. So that will boost my attitude, especially when I'm in the interview. If I don't know a question, I just say, I don't know about that, and I will go and research about it. If I know, then I answer it confidently. So controlling my nerves, controlling my nerves, I think this is a part which I also have a challenge on. Is the challenge that I always have, especially when you get to the interview room and you don't know what will come up. But looking straight to the interviewers, looking, having an eye contact with the interviewers, I think that controls my nerves, because you will see the the facial expressions, and probably that makes my mood a bit relaxed.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, just being confident and having a great attitude to the interview will give me, will definitely control my nerves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Charles. Let's hear from
Yeah.
Purity.
For confidence, boosting confidence, I'd first research on the job, and then also do my homework on the company, what is it that they do. Also, I'd role play, sort of, if there's someone else with me there, I'd have them interview me on the different interview questions maybe I've accessed from the internet, so that I can also gauge how I'll respond to those questions if asked. Another thing is planning ahead. That is in terms of what I'm going to wear, and also the location, so that I know how much time I need to get there. And then the next one was sorry. So on the positive attitude, having good attitude, I'd make eye contact with the interviewer and smile, and also listen carefully and attentively at what is being asked before I respond. Also, being confident also brings in the good attitude in the interviewer's room, and also just trying to be positive in as much as being asked questions that you might not know, trying your very best to answer them, and those that you don't know, then you could also state that you'll go and research about them, and then not complaining, probably, because there are times you can go, you're 10 people, you've been called around 10 a.m. and they start the interviews late, so there are instances when some people, when they get to the interview room, they now start complaining, oh, I've been here since 8 a.m. it's now noon, and all that. And also, just to, if you're jovial, like good attitude also is being jovial in the interview room, because that now lightens the mood. But if you're quiet and sad or moody, then that also now gives a certain mood on the interviewer on how they will relate with you. The last part on being calm for the interviews, I'd take a walk. Like if I'd go there early, if I'd go there early, I would just take a walk, because you'd find a group of people, maybe they're discussing something. So it's also good to not get confusion from what you might have prepared for. And then the other thing is just, preparing. You can also prepare your mind for the worst, in case they ask questions that you probably could not answer. And just prepare yourself that there are people who are there are many people here who look more experienced than me, so they might not take me. So it's sort of like a bad strategy and also a good strategy. And then also the last thing is, okay, you can also, personally, I don't take breakfast because it sort of like affects my nerves. So depending on the kind of person you are, you can have a good meal or choose not to have it. Yeah, and I feel like also listening to music before you get to the interview place makes you settle. Yeah, that's it from me.
Okay, thank you so much, Purity. Let's hear from Jani, and then Jacob will go last. Welcome, Jani. It seems like we don't have her, or maybe we can't hear her. Jani, are we together? Okay, no problem. Jacob, share your thoughts.
Okay, thank you. For me, on how to boost the confidence level, I can say that you get things done. At least you prepare yourself before even going for an interview. Before you reach there, you make sure that you prepare yourself. You get everything done. Both how you dress personally, and also you prepare yourself adequately. And then again, there is this. You also monitor your progress before even you reach the interview room. You start even asking yourself some question and answer the question. You practice, and then you now monitor your progress. You monitor how you are answering the questions, how you are as a person, how you are dressed. You see, you monitor your progress. That can boost your confidence level. And also exercise a lot. You go in front of a mirror and try to talk, try to see how you can answer questions. I think that one can help you to boost your confidence level. On the issue of how to show and boost your good attitude, for me, I think you change your thought. If you are thinking of, that you might fail or something, you change your thought completely and start thinking positively. You also develop the desire to change. You know, if you don't have that desire to change, it will be difficult for you to accept the change. So you develop the desire to change even before you reach the interview. You start thinking that I'm going to perform and I'm going to get this job. So you have to change your thought. You also develop a good habit. Yeah, you think positively, and also find other positive people who can encourage you and give you hope that everything will be well. You are going to get the job. You are going to pass your interview. You see, that can change your attitude. So before even you reach there, you try to change your attitudes. So I think that is, for me, that can help on boosting your level of attitude, on boosting your attitude and changing your attitudes to be to have a positive attitude, and also to control the nerves you choose. For me, I think it is better to choose courage over confidence. You know, you have to be always courageous. You know that if I go for this interview, I know that I'm going to get this job. I'm going to pass all questions. I'm going to answer the question the way it's supposed to be answered, because you know, you are you choose to be courage over confident. Because if you choose confident, something can happen and you just lose your confidence immediately. Maybe you reach to an interview room and see that your shirt kuna mahali haujapiga pasi vizuri, you know, that can even make you the whole point to disappear. Unapoteza the whole confidence. You start to be to fear. But if you choose courage, even if anything happens, you know that you have chosen courage. You know that you are going to pass the interview and you are going to get a job. So for you to control the nerves, you have to choose courage over confidence. You have also to breathe your way through it. You know, you breathe in and out, you at least you relax, and also know your strength. Yeah, for me not to take a lot of time, I think that is all I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jacob. Maybe I can check on Jenny again. Is she around, or we just continue? Okay, no problem. Now, on adding on what you've all said, yeah, everything you said is applicable and doable and should be done, so that we ensure that our confidence levels are good, we maintain good attitude, and we also handle our nerves. Sometimes our nerves really misbehave when we don't need them to do that. So let me start with confidence. Here I've written it as confidence and not croaky. So ensure that you are in a good posture. So the first thing I will talk about when we talk about confidence is eye contact. This one we had discussed about it earlier, but maintaining a good eye contact also shows that you are confident. There is looking at a person with eyes wide open, that looks rude. With like sleepy eyes, that looks not interested. But in your normal way of looking at things, just maintain a very good eye contact with the interviewer. You might have one interviewer, you might have two interviewers. Ensure that in each and every part, when maybe interviewer A is asking this question, you just look at them nicely. I talked about the facial expression. Ensure you don't fold it, you don't open it like you are so shocked. You've been asked a question and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm blank completely. So you just react in a very funny way. Just as there's someone who shared and said, just do a nice practice on the mirror. Even you can do it with your friend asking questions. And then they just ask a random weird question and then you try manage it at that level. So if just something happens, you're like, oops, I had thought about checking on this thing and I didn't, then it doesn't come out like a rude or something that looks like you are not interested in that interviewer's question. Then the other thing of showing confidence is maintaining good posture. Posture in terms of standing, in terms of sitting. Most of the interviews you go, you will just, of course, you'll come in straight and then they'll tell you to sit. How you're going to sit and how you're going to place your body, because posture is how you're going to place it, speaks a lot. You might just sit and then sit recklessly. No, that is not allowed. Some people, when they are so nervous, they just forget to look or they just forget some of these tiny things that are very important. So just be so alert when you're told to sit, just sit in the right manner, sit well. Inaitwaje hiyo design ya kiti, the way the seat goes. Don't bend too forward, don't bend too backward, just be like a natural way of sitting on a seat. Ensure if you're crossing your legs, you don't like do it the upper zile za thighs, the thighs, no, you just cross it well huko chini. And then your hands, how you place your hands, you place them in a way that shows you are ready for the interview. So always remember, there's something else that non-verbal communication will always speak louder than the verbal communication. So practice your breathing technique. Yes. When you get nervous, you tend to breathe either unaka, like you look like you're really panting, like you've been running. When they ask you a question and you feel you are not so, you had not researched a lot about it, you find yourself, you've started panting, you're breathing so heavily. So when you discover that is happening, start controlling it at that time. You can slowly, before you enter the interview room, you just take a deep breath and then you release it, and then just give yourself a positive affirmation. By the way, yeah, I believe I'm good. I believe I'll hack it. I know I did enough preparation. Just tell yourself something positive. By telling yourself something positive, it will give you even the right breathing technique, the right posture, and the right eye contact. Then find a way of how you calm your body from fidgeting. Different people calm themselves differently. Others will listen to music. Others will talk to a friend and they feel good. Others will do exercises. Others will take themselves into very hard situation and try control it from that point. But in your case, find the best way, what works with you when you're fidgeting. How do you calm it down? It is human. It is human to start feeling like, no, 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 no. I don't know what is happening to my muscles. They don't want to obey. I'm just shaking. It's like I'm feeling cold. It's like I'm feeling hungry. You even don't know how you feel. So sometimes take your body, exercise your body through these feelings and see how you can calm those situations. Then I'll go to the next one. Prepare and rehearse your question. That one, most of you have spoke about it. That one always will forever work very well with you. Don't be called for an interview and then that evening or that morning, that's the time you want to go through Google, see, oh, by the way, Kenol Kobil of the close. Let me just give an example. Where is maybe Afia Plus or maybe life skills promotion offices? What do they do? Well, what kind of people do they employ? What do they want from this role? No, 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 no. For sure, you will enter that interview room and you'll see very funny things. Your body will mistreat you at that point. So take your time. Most of the job interviews, you'll be given a lot of time to prepare. Rehearse questions. Go check which are the most commonly questions asked. Rehearse them over and over. Record yourself. Then after you record yourself, go to the mirror, ask a friend. All those things, they might seem like things that will waste time, but when the interview day comes, you will be different. You can always tell a person who prepared and the one who didn't prepare. So always prepare and rehearse your question. That was still under confidence. How to maintain good confidence and to ensure that you're not being croaky in an interview. I always encourage people that we are all human. Even the interviewer is human. They were once in an interview, or even if it was not like a formal interview, they were once in a situation where they felt they were not comfortable. They will understand you. And when the interviewer tells you, hey, take a minute, breathe in, breathe out, don't feel like you've already started failing the failing the interview. No, they're just trying to be kind to you so that they see who is the real you. So they'll tell you, kindly take your time, breathe in, breathe out, or just have a walk outside and come back. Most of the people, when they're told like that, they feel, oh my goodness, I just lost it. There's something there, but the truth is there's something they're seeing in you that they want you to bring it out when you calm down. So when such a situation comes, take it positively, walk outside, talk positive about yourself. Oh, Bina, you know you'll make it. Oh, Bina, you know it is not that bad. It's an interview. Oh, Bina, remember this are humans. They will understand you. You will do it. Remember, you prepared, you rehearsed. Bina, just do it the way you did it yesterday night on the mirror. You remember how you did it well. Just talk good about yourself and then you go and hack it. Then I want to move swiftly to the next one, that is positive attitude. Positive attitude includes the energy you are getting into the interview room with. It also includes how are you presenting yourself. Do you want to be like a stiff rock that even if the interviewer says something, it's like, I don't know, you've seen what, you can't even smile. Uko tu, you're waiting for the next question. You are like, bring it on. So a very nice attitude. You smile, you show you have the right energy. It's like you are in a warmth. Show some warmth even in that interview room. Let them like you. Whatever you are doing, let them like who they are seeing in you. You've entered well, you've greeted them well, you smiled, you've been told to sit, you sat. Maybe they didn't tell you to sit, you're still standing. You are good to go. You just continue standing and do your thing, bringing the right warmth and the right attitude in the room. Then I'll go to the last one, how you're going to control your nerves. This one, telling you, sometimes our nerves can really misbehave. Sometimes the stomach is shaking one side, the other one, I don't know, it's the lip. When you want to say your name, mama, you start, I don't know. It's human. But there are many different techniques on how to ensure this doesn't happen, because of course, even them, they will feel, had you really prepared? Are you sure you can do this job? Why do you look like you're not so sure? So the first thing that shows that you are nervous is how you speak. You can just be told and tell us about your weaknesses or your strengths, and then you are there rapping. What they will gauge from your rapping is that you are not confident with what you're saying, or you had so much rehearsed. It's like you are just cramming. You had crammed so much, you just want to bring it out before you forget it. So slow down. Sometimes you might start it off very fast, but just, when you come, you can also feel like I'm shaking here, like I'm talking too fast here. You slow it down. Even controlling your breathing also will slow your talking. Ensure that you have the facts with you, then you can have a well-prepared presentation or well-prepared way of presenting yourself in that interview. Then remember how you are bringing it out, how you had brought it out before the interview, and then you just bring it out slowly and confidently. The other way of controlling your nerves, you stop yourself from shaking. This one, I said, each one of us, I believe we are individuals, and differently we know how to calm ourselves. For me, I find when I am so nervous, I start cracking my fingers like that. When I crack number 2, I discover, oops, what am I doing? So intentionally, I stop it. Do you know you can intentionally stop your thighs to shake? You can just decide, I won't shake again. And again, the one thing that always works well, speak positively about yourself. Then the other one will be about controlling your nerves. If just peradventure you've been told to, or they've not offered you a seat to sit, when you stand up is much better. You can release weight from that feet that is shaking slowly. It's not like you must hold it. You just relieve it slowly, and then like that, slight movement like that, But when you go there and stand still and start shaking like anytime you'll fall, that won't be so good. So you just be there. Give them time to do your things. As you give them time to do their things, you're also calming your nerves, and that one will work so well. But I've said before, different people, different bodies behave differently. Then the last one, I had spoke about it, is you find the best sitting position that doesn't show that you're very tensed out, or you're just waiting for the interview to just go. Then another one is under controlling nervousness is you ensure you don't the way you feel you are so tight, your hands are so tied up, you also feel like you can't even move them. No. Place, if you're in a table, place your hands gently and well in a very formal way. Listen to what they're saying so that you don't just answer things from nowhere. As you speak, use your own voice. Yeah. Unajua saa zingine you get so nervous when you want to start talking, why kasoprano, and you are a man, and then the kasoprano in you comes out. That is not so good. It shows you are still so nervous. So just try as much as possible to use your own voice. You can hear yourself as you talk. When it starts high, bring it down slowly and slowly. And the last one, as I wind up, is generally just be yourself. I usually say, what is the worst that can happen in an interview? What is the worst? They won't give you the job. You didn't even have it in the first place. So bring out the best you can. I say, you bring out the best you can in an interview. If the job is yours, you will find it. If it is for your friend, don't feel bad about it. Just thank God for that opportunity. Learn all the lessons that you learned in that interview. And then when you are given another opportunity from the previous experiences that you had and the mistakes that you made, bring still the best from you. People apply for interviews and apply for jobs many applications, but trust me, that which one is yours will always find you. So at this point, I want to end. I don't know whether it's too early, but we had agreed we are going to role play. You can do it today or another time, or when you've been given an opportunity for an interview. You ensure that you find some few people around you, you rehearse in a mirror, try and practice everything that you're going to learn in this session of interview skills. And I'm sure at the end we are going to enjoy. So thank you very much, everyone, for being with me today. I enjoyed. Maybe we can all say something as we end the session. Tell us what you learned from the session today, or your views, your feelings as we wind up. And Sasa, we will start with Jacob. Yes, Jacob.
Thank you so much. And I don't know why you like starting with me.
I think I like your name or something. Because you came late.
Because I came late. Next time I make sure that I'll be the first one to attend the session.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Personally, I learn a lot in this session. At least now I know if I'm called for an interview, I know how I can answer the question, how I can present myself, and also how I can boost my confidence and also change my attitudes and control my nerves. I know I learn a lot in this session. So I think that is just what I can say for now. And I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Jacob. Thank you for finding time to attend my session. Let's go to Joshua. Comments, concerns, question? Yes.
Hello. So thank you, Bina. What a wonderful presentation. It was so good. Even I can't say much about it. So thank you for the insight about confidence, positive attitude, and insight about how to control our nerves. So I really loved the presentation. Everything was nice, and I enjoyed it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for finding time to be with me. I really appreciate it. Charles?
Yes, I'm so grateful for the training today. And I had one question.
Yes.
So if you're asked by the interviewer that how are your past roles or your past duties beneficial to the role that you have applied for?
Yes.
So the question is, do you start with the previous roles and duties that you had in previous organizations, and then you match them up with the duties and roles for the position applied, or do you just go straight to the...
Okay, I will just highlight on it because I know.
Yes, and
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm so grateful for the training. And,
okay.
Okay.
Thank you. For the question you asked, I'll just highlight a little bit because I know the next session I think you're having tomorrow will tackle more on the questions and how to answer the questions that come along in an interview. But usually it's best to give your feedback with the past experience that you had. So if, for example, I'm given a task, I'm a baba, somebody comes in my shop and they want me to shave them like box or something. So they will come with a question and ask me, will you be able to do this and this? The best way for me to show them I can do it very well, I'll say, I have had other experiences shaving people, box, or maybe, and it was good. In a formal setup, maybe you are told to keep data in a particular way, using a particular program, then the best way to show this person you can do it right, you've done it before, you did it right. And this time round, even with the task you're giving me, I am able to do. And the ones that I'm not able to do, I am willing to learn. But I know you're having that session tomorrow, so I'm sure the trainer will dig deep into it. Thank you so much, Charles. Purity, do you have something you want to say?
No, but thank you for the session. At least I got to be reminded a lot of those things when it comes to an interview. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Then we go to Jani. I don't know whether she's back, or I don't know what's happening with her internet. Okay, no problem. So at this point, I genuinely appreciate everyone for being with me. It is always my pleasure to add knowledge where I can, as I also gain knowledge from the people I'm training. So have a good evening. At this point, I want to take it back to Katile. Thank you so much.
So hello everyone. I think today I just decided to be at the back, like we've like a technical team member, but actually I've learned a lot during the session on how to make the right impression during an interview from the start. I just liked how Binat took it from the point where you have not reached the interview place to the time when you are going to the interview, and then what to do during the interview and maybe after. So generally for today's session, it was very amazing because I could relate what we were told on the basics of interviews last week, and then I was able to relate. Now I have these basics, I know what I am supposed to do during an interview. Okay, and now today I've learned now how do I make the right impression now that I have the knowledge of what interviews we are expected to do during an interview. So thank you so much, Bina, for it was such an interactive session. It's just that I wanted members to participate so that they can get more of it. So basically, thank you so much, Bina, and I'm just so happy for such a wonderful session. And for the participants, it was the most interactive session we have had, and everyone was there and they were willing to hear, to learn, to talk, and it was an awesome conversation. So maybe for the notes, I know there are some who joined for today's session alone. Maybe you may need the recordings and maybe the presentation, because I know this is the third session, and maybe you have known how to make the first impression and then you did not get well the session 1 and session 2. So I'll just share a link in the chat box. You can just fill the link so that you can get your emails, and probably tomorrow by 2 p.m. I'll share the recordings from the first session to the third session with the presentations, so that maybe you can have a look at it before I put them on the drive, like a link for the recordings for the Zoom session before I convert them to a drive link. So it will be wonderful. And then for the other sessions, we'll be having like questions that you expect during interview. That session should be tomorrow, if I'm not wrong. We'll be having a trainer on that. And then we'll have the last training about 20th and 26th, the same month. That will be about acing the interview. It's like a summary of everything during an interview and maybe what to follow up after in interview. So basically, this is a TOT training. So by the end of the training, you'll be able, as a participant, maybe get a certificate for attending all the sessions. That's why I said if maybe you didn't attend the first 2 sessions and you may want to continue the training, just fill the form and I'll share the details. And then maybe you can make a call and then I can explain maybe the way forward. So just fill the form. And what else? Yeah, I'll share the details. And before I end the session, because Purity is the chair of the career development team on our part, maybe Purity will be the one who will say the parting shot for the session, so that as we end, because we are not only having this interview skills training, but we'll have CV writing trainings, and then we have cover letter trainings by the end of the month. So our TOT trainings will cover all that. And then maybe February, maybe 2 days or 3 days we'll do personal branding, and then we'll finish the interview skills TOT training. So if you may want to continue the training or invite your friends to join us, I think this was actually the last session. Then we'll just continue with this group and then maybe another course later. So thank you so much, Bina, for taking your time, and thank you so much for everyone for attending the session and keeping time. I'm really impressed. So thank you so much. Maybe I can give that opportunity to Purity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bina and Raha, for organizing this training. I believe we've gotten most out of it. Yeah, and we look to impacting more youths on whatever we've learned. So thank you so much for your time. And to everyone else also, thank you for participating.
So with that, I guess the speaker can give a parting shot.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Katile. I appreciate even to be part of you people, and I really like what you're doing. Yeah, my best wishes to the trainers as you go there. Please make your presentation very doable. Let even the trainees feel what you're saying. Let them relate to the examples that you're giving, and with doing that, you will have the best out of it. Thank you so much for even considering me to be part of it. I believe and I can see it's a very nice movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bina, for such a wonderful presentation and for your time. So maybe Charles, Jacob, and Joshua, one of you can pray for us and then we end the session.
Okay, good evening all once again.
Good evening.
Before I close with a word of prayer, I would like to suggest that because I came late, please, if possible, if we can get notes for the first and the second session, and also for today, we can really appreciate. So, can I pray?
Yeah, Jacob.
Yes.
I think there's a link I have shared in the chat box. So if you fill the form, I'll get your email and then I'll be able to share for all those who attended by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I saw the link. Okay, let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for everything. We thank you for this evening. Thank you for your protection, your love, your care, your mercy, and everything, God. Lord, even this session, God, we thank you for being with us from the beginning up to the end, oh God. Thank you for your love. It is for your care, my God, and your love, my Father. Thank you for our trainers. Thank you for everybody. Lord, we thank you for even giving us a chance, oh God, to be here, oh God, to be together and to hear from them. We thank you for everything. We thank you for this evening. May you bless us, oh God, even as we are going to do other things, oh God, right now in the evening. Be with us all, protect us and bless us, God. In the name of Jesus, Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Have a good evening, all.
Good evening to you.
You too.